Hi everyone, this is Rodney Blackburn of Holistic Health Practitioners here in Cincinnati, and I'm coming to you today from Dr. Shelton Hendrick's office in BlueAsh. It's called the Herb Shop, and the Herb Shop has been around for how long, Shelton?
Oh, since 2001.
2001. And so Shelton recently moved over into this Blue Ash location in the CMC buildings off Reed Hartman, and we'll get into the address and so forth later. But Shelton has an incredible story. I'm going to let him get into that quickly, but he's got a lot to discuss with you guys today. If you have not watched our previous videos, you can find them in the Facebook community in the videos section. It's going to be from, gosh, we've done, I think, a couple over the past year or two. And so go check them out. But I'm here, and he's actually got another doctor in the house, and we'll, we'll introduce everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it around. So, Dr. Shelton.
Yeah, I'm Shelton Hendricks, owner of the Herb Shop and Doctor, naturopathy and master herbalist and so forth, engineer and all those good things. This is my good friend, great friend, Dr. Jim Lutz.
Okay.
Yeah, so Dr. Jim and I, we met a couple years ago, whatever, and he's been a client since, and he's going to be using the self-Neuromed, which I'm going to be discussing here in a little bit with you in detail, and you can ask all the questions you want.
He says it's pronounced Selvino Matt.
Selvito, Cellvital.
Okay, so before we get into this, Matt, because I know you're really excited about, because you have a lot of technology and a lot of things to discuss, but give people just a brief background of how you got started and then like how can you help people, those sort of things.
Okay then, I got started in health kind of accident.
We can sit down if you
Okay,
like.
let's sit down.
I like being comfortable.
I ended up being a career engineer in all things computers.
Right.
Out of college, 1981.
Mm-hmm.
Chemical engineers, first 3 years in college, didn't like labs, went to industrial engineering, graduated with a degree in that.
Okay.
Only did that for 2 years. We got our first PC in a group of 45 engineers in 1983. And I became an instant expert in it, and I got transferred to a group called technical computing, which was responsible for the future computing applications throughout the planet at that point in time.
Okay.
So that was a perfect fit for me with all the computer technology. I taught myself how to program in BASIC in high school, so I didn't mention that in the interview process with the company, but I had these computer leans anyway.
Right.
I had an opportunity to open up, and it launched me in the engineering career in all things computers, process control, IP, and all those kind of things. I even had a company where I built computers, repair computers, and all that. Don't do that anymore, but I can, but I don't.
Sure.
And that, so, but early 40s, earache, right earache, nothing more. Over the next 8 months, all kinds of antibiotics. I collapsed at work, hit the floor like a deck of cards.
Wow. They called the ambulance the whole nine?
They were waking me up, and the ER was working on me there at the company. They didn't find anything. I'm sure everybody thought I died of a heart attack. I didn't see it because I blacked out, saw stars, all black, and next thing I know, they're working on me, and running tests, and they didn't find anything, no blood sugar drops or anything like that.
Right.
Unfortunately, heart attack. So that started a process over the next 2.5 years. Going to every doctor, every specialist.
But you were in an extreme amount of pain. Like the way that you described this to me was like a migraine throughout your entire body.
It was progressive, yeah.
Right.
Even those first 8 months when I was taking antibiotics, I felt things going on.
Right.
And I thought it was just antibiotics working. I have never, the only time I've been sick in the past was maybe a bad case of the flu every now and then.
Right.
So this was all new to me, being,
Right.
drugs and so forth.
So this is his testimonial, guys. You got to understand the power. I mean, he's being very humble about it, but please understand that this man went through an extreme amount of pain for 2.5 years. This is when you're going through that type of pain, which I know many people in our community are. You have even thoughts of suicide, like many of us have, including this guy here. At some point, you don't want to be in that type of pain. So I know he's taking a little bit more subtle approach, but you got to understand that for 2.5 years of being in extreme pain. So the reason I point that out is because Shelton, you understand what it's like when people come to you
Yes, I did.
and say, listen, you're going to have to do some work.
Right.
But so you already have that perspective. And right.
And in 20 years, I've met only one person as worse as I was overall. She was probably 80% of what I was.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't met a person who's been in extreme levels of pain and all other complications.
Yeah, I mean, I have candida, but it wasn't even close to what you were.
Yeah, you wouldn't sit here if you had what
No. You'd be picking me up off the floor.
So yeah, it was a journey. I think was divinely inspired with hindsight at this point. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. We're talking the very best doctors, Robbie. Specialists of all sorts. So here I am, I'm an engineer in the prime of my career, and they wanted me back on point, And there was no expense spared visiting every specialist. Every test you could think was ran on me. And they scared the dickens out of me when they ran 2 A's tests, different points along the way.
Oh my gosh! Like, what did I contract?
What did I do here? Whatever. And of course, came back negative. And there was just no answer. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. And about 2.5 years down the road, they wanted to put me on antidepressants.
Oh yeah, they thought you were crazy.
Yeah, they were, and the nurses at my main doctors, they would snicker when I would come in, thinking that this guy's loony, this guy's crazy. And that talk finally got around at work with associates, friends, and all in that circle.
The egg done cracked.
Right. Something's going wrong here.
Right.
And I knew it, but I couldn't explain to people what was going on inside of me. So I stopped talking about it altogether.
Right.
Because there was no way they could understand or relate, so I stopped talking about it altogether.
Yeah, they don't have any perspective.
Right. So I just did my research, continued to do my research. I was cognizant at each day, which was about 3 hours. It's my maximum time that I could do anything before I just shut down. And eventually came to a forum in the internet with users with chronic fatigue syndrome. And you know how you can advance down a search and you go to 1 page, 2 pages.
Yeah.
I was probably over 30 pages following this screen, and it was a doctor here in Cincinnati, Dr. John Turner Carson. He said, I help people with these kind of symptoms. Now, I said I was 2 months away from going to California to seek help. Holistic practitioners out there. And I said, well, in the meanwhile, I'll call this off. Let's see what he comes up with. It was a coin toss. I've seen everybody else. He said he could help, so let's see if he could help. So I make an appointment. He gets me in. He was the first doctor to let me talk for a half hour. Non-stop. Most doctors will give you 5 to 10 minutes, and they're already writing something on a piece of paper without really hearing you out.
Right.
It had been my experience to that point. He all of a sudden looks up and he says, I know what's wrong with you. And he says it 3 more times with strong emphasis. And I'm sitting there totally shocked he made such a statement. And I'm thinking in my mind, how can he know what's wrong with me and he hasn't ran 1 test? But he says, I'm not going to tell you what I think it is. I'm going to run a test. He didn't even tell me what the test was. And if I'm right, then I'll tell you what it is. But long story short, it was a test for candida.
Right.
Okay.
How many Americans have candida?
Well, we all have it to some degree. It lives symbiotically in the body in a healthy GI tract.
Right.
If you're taking antibiotics, if you drink chlorinated water, there's a lot of environmental factors that depopulate the health.
Right, all the
Right,
processed foods and sodas and
all the bad actors out there that we know about slowly degrade that healthy population, and you start getting growing levels of that and other similar things that start to escalate, and that brings in it various symptoms.
So what are some of those symptoms that are most common for people? Because there's probably people with those symptoms now. I know that.
One of the most early symptoms is that you will get a lot of bloating when you eat simple carbs, breads, sugars. You will start to bloat.
Okay.
That's one of the early telltale signs.
So like gas.
More than gas, you'll get the bloating.
Or bloating.
It's like, think of a yeast in bread.
Oh, got you.
And as it heats up and warms up, the bread, the loaf of bread goes from the dough stage and it expands.
Nice.
So people with candida always will be belly. They go from a flattish belly to a more obtuse belly.
Yeah.
And that pattern repeats itself quite often.
Okay.
You get into more advanced stages, and especially if it gets into the blood, into the body, you can have ear infections, all kind of pains going on in the core of the body, rashes, itching. It has a host of symptoms.
What about like jock itch for men, toenail fungus, athlete's foot, female?
If you have toenail fungus, you have a yeast problem, period.
Okay.
And the solution is to rid it internally as well as trying to do topical treatment.
Right.
But topicals alone don't work long term because it's a systemic problem.
Right.
Point.
Which takes time. How long did it take you to
Mine was a whole year and a half journey to reverse that, get my life back physically and everything. Once Dr. Carson zeroed and lasered in on that with a test saying that was the problem.
Right.
Okay. And now what threw me off in my own journey trying to figure it out after I walked away from allopathic medicine, I had met with both of my infectious disease specialists in one room in one sitting. A year and a half into my illness.
Okay.
And I'd done some light research, and I brought that topic up to both of them, and they looked at each other, shook their heads, and said, "No, that can't be it."
Well, of course, because that's not what they're looking for.
Right. They don't know anything about it, but they were looking for that. So I also trusted their expertise, dropped it like a hot potato.
Right.
And then 2 years later, that comes back to the top of the list. And so I put that back in the top of the list of 3 things I thought could be wrong with it. And it turns out in the final analysis, that was it. Okay. But it was a life like no other. I mean, I was taking on every medical journey you could think of, every test, every specialist, every cast they ran.
Right.
I mean, none, bar none.
So fast forwarding, and why you help people, that is apparent now, because of what you've had to suffer through, which is the blessing that guys actually brought you this wonderful man who loves the hardest cases because of that, because you have a brilliant mind, an engineering mind, whatever you want to call it, but now you can work with amazing technologies, you understand. You're a master herbalist and fully understand even the components of the body. I know you're not a medical doctor, you can't diagnose, but explain the difference between like your education as a naturopathic doctor, even though we can't say that you're a doctor here in Ohio, but you're still recognized, you're still, people want that sense and that comfort when they come to any of our practitioners. So me coming to you, if I never knew you, after you telling me this story, but it's like, okay, what sets you apart versus, say, going to, not to compare, like one's better than another, but like Dr. Ace, Dr. Chinchuk, who's our medical doctor in the community, because I know you guys collaborate and work wonderfully together. But explain a little bit about that, if you wouldn't mind.
Naturopathy and herbalism is based on historical modes of modality that have been around for centuries, if not thousands of years. Actually, pharmaceutical medicine is the new kid on the block historically, only 100 years old.
Right.
Approximately.
Right.
Okay. Herbs have been around for eons of time. Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, all the other types of medicines have been around historically, literally thousands
Right.
of years.
Right.
And all that's been grouped together in generic terms are called alternative medicine or holistic medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So I went out into that world looking for my answers and found those.
Mm-hmm.
My doctor at the time, Dr. Carson, from what I believe, he went out in that world and found his answers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was probably fed up too.
Right. And I mean, many people that are fed up with lack of results with the current
Well,
paradigm.
one size just doesn't fit all. I mean, everybody's always said that, and it's like, why would we do anything different in dealing with our own health care?
Right. But our healthcare system is very exclusive of all these other modalities.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much you're at your own to figure that out, or hopefully to find somebody to hold your hand and guide you through the plurality of modalities out there.
Well, and even 20 plus years ago when you started getting into this, I mean, compared to
Oh
today.
yeah, there's only a handful of people around. Now, I went to the best of the holistic practitioners in the David Cincinnati Corridor in my journey
Mm-hmm.
at that time. And it was here from the eyes what was wrong with me too. So I was just totally without hope from both angles at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Until that continuous search makes all the difference in the world. And I said to myself, I think I'm going to die, but I'm going to die fighting. That's what I told myself. And I said I'll research and knock on doors until I leave the fight. That was my mentality. And that persistence paid off. That persistence was confirmed in me by a young lady in Columbus.
Okay, I don't think I've heard this
No,
story.
I've heard this part of it. Actually, I have so many stories.
Well, we're gonna have to get to all this amazing technology and stuff. Because I know this guy back here. He's like, all right, can you guys wrap it up?
Okay, well, let me tell this.
No, go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I owned two coin laundromats before I got sick and while I was sick. And next to the one in Cincinnati was a chiropractor. And we were good friends, and he was doing everything in his power to try to help me.
Right.
So there's this more famous chiropractor who's doing a presentation at Columbus. And Sheldon, we're going to go up here, and he's pretty well known for solving the tough problems. And we're going to get a one-on-one with him after he's done with the speech.
Okay.
So he drives me. I couldn't drive long distance. He drove me up there. I was still weak as a wet noodle. So he drives me up to Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Eric Severus, he's since moved out of there. But Dr. Eric, have you ever seen this video? Thanks for everything you did. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody who's watching.
Oh yeah, my sweetie's on, Debbie's on, Barb's on, Sophia's on. We got 7 people watching us. So.
Yeah, my sweetie's down in Florida enjoying warm weather. But anyway, we go to that conference, and he's talking, and there's an intermission, and everybody pretty much goes outside for a break. But I'm just so weak, I don't go get out of my seat. I just stay there. And there's a young lady sitting to the left of me, and we get in a conversation. So I tell her my story. She tells me her story. She survived deadly stomach cancer, and she found something at the end that saved her life. And I can't remember what it was at the time.
Right.
She said, but she turned around and looked me in the eye, and after I told her my story, she said, I have no clue what's wrong with you, but I'm going to tell you this here. Said, whatever you do, and she looked at me very sternly in the eye and said, never give up. And she said it a total of 3 times. And that imprinted something in me that carried me the next year and a half until I figured it out. so everybody needs that kind of voice speaking to them when they're going through something.
Yeah, because the clouds aren't parting, the sun ain't coming down, and God ain't talking to you in the way that they show it in the movies. It's the lady sitting next to you when you least expect it that says, keep fighting, don't ever give up.
Never give up. She imparted wisdom in me, influence,
Right.
and that was
Right.
part of the next 1.5 year journey of
Yeah.
being in that.
Yeah.
So that happened. But out of that, like I said, I recovered. Everybody wondered what happened. It was kind of miraculous recovery. People started coming to my home in Springboro.
Mhm.
I started taking holistic classes, and that journey was sparked by me seeking holistic help to make sure I never reverted back to where I was.
Mhm.
Now, because I was sick so long, I lost my corn laundromat businesses, but I got my health back, and I was looking for the next entrepreneur opportunity to transition out of the corporate world.
Mhm.
So in consulting with these two naturopaths from Texas, a husband and wife, they heard my story and they said, well, since you're looking for the next opportunity, you ought to consider going to holistic health yourself. So they planted the seed.
Right.
And they said, you can start here with this group. They say, just test the waters, what they told me. Just take the class. It's
Right,
free.
right, right.
I did that eventually, and over a period of several months, everything clicked. Okay. So I'm seeing people in my home, I'm taking my classes, I'm still doing my engineering job, all these things here, and it's steady, it's progressive. I'm shadowing a well-known healer, holistic healer in Dayton. I would go to her office, spend time with her, learn things also. And then opportunity opens up.
Yeah. Yeah.
She went to class with the guy who started the herb shop in 2001.
Okay.
Now, I took over ownership in 2005, but he passed away unexpectedly. And she paused and said, Sheldon, this is my friend, this what happened. They want to sell the business. Are you interested? So I said, well, let me go down and talk to her. So I went down and we
Right.
talked.
Right.
And I decided to do a 3-month trial first, and that was good. And I bought the business three months later.
Okay.
March of 2005. And so that's how I ended up in Delhi from that point going forward.
So having a level of comfortability, and I'm switching this back over, but having a level of comfortability, when did you start feeling confident? Like, because you always ask that question, like, or you make that statement, more importantly, like, give me the hardest cases, because I titled it this way. It's like, why are you so damn confident that you can help so many different people? Where what gives you that confidence? I mean,
at the core, it's a God confidence.
Okay. Hey, I'll go with that. Hey, I'll go with that. People ask me sometimes, like, how you do what you do.
I'm so confident because he told me in my worst pain days, a still voice said, your healing is going to come out of the natural health. Pretty clear state. I think this is the first time I ever tell him this publicly. And that caused me to refocus my efforts in holistic service. Now, the answer wasn't the answer, like I said, from that point, when I know I heard that voice. It was a year and a half later when the answers came and the discovery came that it was candy and the recovery process started. So I had a little bit of divine assistance and guidance in that part of figuring things out.
But that is so difficult because so many people within our community are really suffering so much that they lose hope, like how you were. It's like you can't even fathom the possibilities of what you don't know, but it's like you're in space
I don't
of,
think anybody's going to help
I don't think
me.
anybody's going to help me. And again, there's probably people who are suicidal, have, because they get to that point, like,
it's over, or
it's over,
it's
or
mentally so
it's
where
mentally so where I know you've had patients or clients that you're working with, and it's like they're scared into doing things that they don't want to do, and because they don't know what's possible, and so they just keep heading down that one slice of medicine, and then, anyhow.
Right, and I see that play out all the time, and here you don't know what you don't know. And I think that's why people like me are birthed through whatever process it takes for them to get to the point where they can help people. And I think God raises up people as beacons of hope for our fellow brethren throughout the planet and sisters throughout the planet.
Gotcha.
Right, so I'm on a mission.
So you better just listen.
So you better just listen.
Sorry. You're better off if you listen, if you can do that by faith. And it's not a blind faith. I can tell you testimonies, not theories, testimonies.
Oh, I guarantee you probably have.
Oh, I guarantee you probably have hundreds, if not thousands of them.
Right, and like I said, when I tell people just about Rodney.
Oh, he's digging in somewhere.
Oh, he's digging in somewhere
Yeah, I'm
here.
digging in this file right here. The testimonies.
Now, can we get this gentleman
Now,
up on
can
the
we get
table?
this gentleman up on the table?
Yes.
Because I know he's got more important things to do than listen to us
Keep talking.
keep talking.
I'll detour right quick. This is the cell
Okay.
video, man.
Okay.
It is the latest generation. It was called PEMF technology, pulse magnetic energy
Okay.
therapy.
Okay.
And this mat projects a 1 foot field around the circumference of the mat.
Okay.
And it energizes the body. Get close up in this right.
So pretty much if you look at this
So
graphic,
pretty much if you look at this graphic, this is representing the battery levels down here below here.
Mm-hmm.
as we get past age
As
40
we get past age
or
40
35,
or 35, we start a
severe
severe downward trend of losing cellular energy throughout the whole body.
Okay.
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 What this pad does,
What this pad does,
it stops that trend.
it stops that
and
trend
reverses it
and reverses it and keeps your batteries, your energetic batteries charged at 70% or higher throughout your life of
So
using the
you get
pad.
the health of
So you get the health of a
35-year-old
35-year-old for the rest of your life,
basically in a nutshell. Okay.
Did you guys hear that?
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, seriously.
I know that's
I know that's mind blowing.
I mean, that's your
That's the kind of stuff
interpretation
that
I
of
mean, that's your
Still, it's
interpretation
like
of,
it-
but
yeah.
still, it's like it. Yeah, I mean,
So
it
that-
doesn't lie. So no.
Right. So the answers are here. That's what I tell people all the time.
People look at me sometimes.
And people look at me sometimes like a deer in the headlight. You can't.
Well, but it's like you've always
Well,
told
but it's
me,
like you've always
Ronnie,
told
there's
me, like,
solutions to every
Ronnie,
problem.
there's solutions to every problem. And
Solutions, plural.
solutions, plural.
We may not just know.
We may not just
Every
know
situation's
because
different. Like
every
this
situation's
gentleman,
different. Like
you know,
this gentleman,
myself,
you
it's
know,
like,
myself,
how
it's
do
like, how do you?
Everybody's different.
Everybody's
having
different,
that-
and having that, but it's comprehensive in what you're
Well,
doing. So,
you want to get him on here?
you want to get him on here and kind of show what this is doing, and I'm gonna put my
coffee down here.
coffee
We got
down
a lot
here.
of people watching this.
We
They
got a
wanna
lot of
see
people
what this
watching
thing
here, so they want to
does.
see what this thing does.
Right, so this is the controller right here, and it comes with various
Okay,
settings. I'm not
gotcha.
going to try to explain
Okay,
it.
gotcha.
And then we're gonna let
And then we're
the
gonna
good
let
doctor come over here,
the good doctor come over here,
and I'm gonna switch spots.
and I'm gonna switch spots.
So I know his pre.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, sir. Here we go.
Now let me know how the jolt.
Now let me know how the
electricity is
jolt
for you.
of electricity is for
You
you.
start trembling now.
If you start trembling now.
Okay, I'm just.
Okay, I'm just.
It doesn't electrocute you. So what it's doing is recharging oxygen, cellular energy to all cells in its bodies, organs, and so forth. Bringing it up to its fullest possible is called zeta potential, which means that the cells are going to be charged up here in this light blue area, which is 70% or greater, giving the cells the greatest potential to heal, to detox, to absorb nutrients, to relieve pain, and the list just goes on.
Well, but that's
and
interesting
on.
Well,
because
but that's interesting because Lennon McCord is one of our practitioners, people in there. And when Aaron and I, not to display anything, but
well, I'm not going to talk about that. Anyhow,
well, I'm not going to talk about that. Anyhow, because she doesn't like me talking about her stuff. I always forget, even though I'll use myself as an example. I remember, like, for me, when I started using this types
I
of,
just realized my body
was not functioning, like it wasn't absorbing things, it wasn't reacting the way it's supposed to normally react.
Even my dad discussing about
Even my dad discussing about a little bit about his situation, like Rodney, he says,
in the past year was the first time I felt like I was
declining and I couldn't come back. So if you feel like, if you guys feel like you're declining, you can't come back. It's like, no, there is technology. There are things out there that really, yeah. So,
we'll get you back on point in a hurried fashion. And this is one amazing technology that does that. It's one of the best in the world from my research. And I use it.
I know you researched to the end.
I know you researched to the nth degree.
Before I bring things in.
So what is this?
Right.
So
what is this?
This is some of the things right here
Right.
that this mat does.
Okay.
Improves energy, promotes healing on all levels, reduces inflammation, weight loss, pain reduction, and oxygenates the cells.
Explain to people about the
So
oxygenation.
explain to people about the oxygenation of the cells, because like even taking an herb, essential oil, whatever, it's got to penetrate those cells.
Right, and the cells have to have energy to process things. So without the energy, they can't do their work of processing things, allowing nutrients to come in at the cellular level, or excreting the toxins or waste out of their cells.
Okay.
So that requires energy, and that term is called ATP.
Meaning,
It's a term for energy.
Okay.
At the mitochondrial.
Now, what is the mitochondrial level?
now what is the mitochondrial level? So again,
Mitochondrial to me, like each cell has like a little battery system in it. That generates energy.
And so you're
kickstarting it. So would you say that they kind of like are in a dormant state and you're kind of waking them up?
They're kind of bogged down from.
So they're just in overload.
So they're just in overload.
Right.
They're exhausted.
Right, they're exhausted and they're overloaded. And that's what technologies and therapies like detoxing does. You're trying to relieve the burden
Right.
off the cellular level out of the body. And so a lot of times you need a jump start to get back on track. And this is one of the greatest
Now,
ways
do you
to
mind
get
if I
that
ask you a
jump
question?
Now, do you mind if I ask you a question while you're sleeping?
So
what do you notice yourself? Do you notice anything when you're on the map? Because I know I have a sensitivity at times when I'm utilizing these types of technology.
On the map, the only thing I ever notice is just a slight sensation of warmth. Just very, very mild warm feeling.
Okay.
There's no pain, no discomfort of any kind. It's
Okay.
just a relaxed.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
So for yourself,
so for yourself, if you're open, what is it that you've experienced in,
being with this technology?
being with this technology?
Well, I have a story somewhat similar to Shelton's, actually.
Okay.
I had for well over a year pain throughout my whole body. And I'm a medical doctor, and had I come to me with my symptoms, I wouldn't have known what to do.
Yeah, you probably would have thought you were crazy.
Yeah, you probably would have thought you were crazy.
Psychologist.
Go see a psychologist, right?
Yeah, so eventually, between Dr. Shelton and another physician, some blood work confirmed the presence of multiple molds in my body, which Candida
Right.
was one of them.
Right.
Okay, so
Well, there's
I did have
different,
some
strands.
Well, there's
or
different,
whatever.
strands or whatever.
Right, and I had several other molds besides Candida as well.
Okay.
So over time, it was not a quick process, but between the supplements from Shelton and the use of the pad, I've made slow but steady progress. And my pain is probably reduced by 80% at this point. I'm getting halfway back to a normal.
So were you talking like?
What type of pain how would you describe that pain? Is it just aches and pains in the morning? Is this like more of a severe pain? Is this?
In my case, it was always progressively getting worse as the day went on. So after 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon,
You were wiped out.
just had to shut down.
You were wiped out.
Yeah, and I just hurt everywhere.
Which is mentally exhausting, spiritually
exhausting, spiritually exhausting.
Yeah, it was very frustrating, very depressing.
Yeah.
It was a lot to deal with. And I knew that, frankly, I knew that conventional medicine was not going to be the answer for me. Even though I'm a conventional doctor, I knew that was not going to be the case.
Gotcha.
So God sent me to another physician. No, actually, God sent me to Shelton first, who referred me to another physician. And between the two of them,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's
And I
awesome.
appreciate you
That's
saying
awesome.
that.
And I appreciate you saying
What do you
that.
got here for us?
So, what do you got here for us?
Okay, and I'm going to show you some other benefits of the pad right here. So it helps with urinary and fecal incontinence, post,
Yeah, you said that word. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, you said that word. I'm not going to say it.
incontinence, pelvic pain syndrome, postpartum recovery with ladies after pregnancy and after childbirth.
Okay.
Erectile dysfunction, both in men, well not in men, but for men, and then libido
So more
disorders for
help
ladies.
getting the
So more help getting the hormones back in balance.
Right. So all these are hip pain, osteoporosis, and also cardiovascular issues. And so it's non-invasive, it's painless, and it just takes a few sessions to get the first few results experience. We like to do things in groups of 20 sessions, so I sell it in a package of 12 treatments.
Okay.
Right. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna offer 20 free sessions.
Hold on. See, now you always catch me
Hold
off
on.
guard. Go ahead.
See, now you
I'm
always
sorry.
catch me off guard. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You just make me giddy when you
Because I
say
know
stuff
people.
like that. Because I know people, I mean, as much as they want to be out of pain, everybody's strapped for money, it seems like. So,
Right, it is. So
so,
I'm going to offer 20 free sessions, and I'll put that up on the website and put a link on the Facebook post here later, where they can sign up for those sessions.
I hope you guys
First
take
20
advantage
spots.
of this.
I hope you guys take advantage of this, because seriously, I mean,
charge what?
because typically you would charge what,
$35 a session.
$35 a
Now,
session.
let me.
Okay. Now, let me.
Both packages are less per
So
session.
20 free
A single
sessions.
So
Are you
20
limiting
free
that to the number of
sessions.
people?
Are you
Because
limiting
we have
that to
over
the number of
8,000
people? Because we do have over 8,000
Well, I
members.
can do all
Well, I just want to make sure.
Well, I just want to make
They'll start
sure,
lining up.
This is a bonus
because they'll start lining up.
Yeah, who are listening, and if you want to do a package rate, we'll knock
Okay.
10% off.
So
the
why don't we
package rate.
do this?
Okay.
Just
So
be
why don't we
safe,
do
so
this,
there's
just
no
to be safe,
misinterpretation.
so there's no misinterpretation? Why don't they call you, so,
they can contact you on the
or
website. So give them a
they
phone
can
number.
contact you on the website, so give them a phone number, really.
The phone number is 513-451-9176.
Okay.
That's the phone number.
Okay.
You can go on the website. But if you want a free session, it's probably best to call, because I'm sure
Yeah.
these are going to evaporate real quick.
Yeah.
And if you want to come in and just talk to me for, I'll let you sit down for a free sit down.
And this is just for HHP members.
And this is just for
Our
HHP
memberships.
members, and as we get into our memberships, so,
So you guys understand we're going to be
sorry for a
starting
second.
memberships.
So you guys understand we're going to be starting memberships soon. We're giving 30-day trials to our membership. I know I have never talked about this before, but with these memberships, this allows you to get discounts, like right out the gate, in network with all of our practitioners. So what Dr. Shelton is telling you is that these are one of the several benefits that he is offering, let alone with people like Kimberly Narker, Danielle Fritz, and all of our other amazing practitioners.
Let's go through that again.
So let's go through that again. So you want to just say the first 10 people that, or do you want to limit that somehow, because I want people to come out, but I don't want them to take advantage of your services and your time, because there's a lot of people that need help.
Yeah, let's say I'll stick with 20. I said 20, I'll do 20.
Okay, so the 20 people, the
Okay,
first
so
20 people that
20
comment
people, the
below.
first 20 people that comment below.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
Now they got to give me their
Yeah.
email.
So
so
put
I
your
Yeah.
actually,
put your
or they can go to my website and
Okay,
share
let's
an
do
email,
this.
or they can call.
Okay, let's do this.
First 20 people
The
that
first 20
email
people
you
that email you
Right.
at
Email would be Shelton, SHELTON, at Shop, Cincy is spelled
Okay, so the first 20 people that do that.
Okay, so the
If
first
you happen
20
to be
people
the
that do
21st
that,
person, I'm
if
sorry,
you happen to be the 21st
but if
person,
not,
I'm sorry,
Shelton will provide
but if not,
discount,
Shelton will provide a discount.
Normally,
Going,
but even at
yeah,
$35,
normally,
you can
but
get
even
rid
at
of payment, because I know
$35,
what
if you
these
can get rid of
machines can
payment,
do.
because
Some
I
people
know
get
what
on
these
these
machines can
within
do.
the
There's
first
some people
one
get on
time,
these, and
they're
within the
starting to
first
see it.
one time, they're starting to see the results.
And typically, long-term the way it works is you do your initial group of 20 sessions over some short period of time, and then maintenance is generally 1 or 2 sessions a month.
Now, what about people, because I know many
Now, what about people,
have
because
loved
I know
ones that are
many
also suffering,
people have
whether
loved
it's,
ones that are also
autoimmune,
suffering, whether it's
all the different types of
autoimmune,
dis-ease that's
all the
going on
different
there,
types
pain
of
and so forth.
dis-ease that's going on there, pain
What
and
about
so
people
forth.
long-term? I know you work
What
with
about
people all
people
over the
long-term? I know
country.
you work with people all over the country.
Right. Again, I get the tough cases. I was a tough case, and I love tough cases because I understand how to peel that back a layer at a time.
So,
What happens is people get overwhelmed with symptoms and diagnoses, and it increases their hopelessness. And they say, there's no way I can ever recover, climb out this medical hole. There's just too many things wrong with me.
right.
And they lose hope. And a lot of times even their own physicians don't know.
Well,
where
and then, but yeah, but once you mentally shut
Well, and
down,
then,
your
but yeah,
immune
but once you
system
mentally
starts
shut
to
down,
down.
your immune system starts to shut
Right,
down.
the body will cooperate with the mind, and that's the deadly thing about losing hope. Because the body starts to shut down.
Exactly.
Right, right, exactly.
And the mind starts to lose hope. And you'll get to the point where you don't believe, and thus you won't even try. And that's what the young lady warned me about in Columbus. She said, never give up. Because she knew from my own journey, and of course I knew from my present journey at that moment. If I gave up, I would be dead.
Well, and so many people are. I mean,
Well, and so many people are. I mean, how do you not give up when somebody tells you have cancer and you don't know about all the alternatives that are possible, or the
Well, we just have to pray for our brothers and sisters that
Right.
angels in human form or whatever form, informational forms, or whatever, cross their paths, and that they have
well,
an
speaking
ear.
of angels, my
well, speaking of angels,
lovely
my
mother, stepmother, Donna Black.
lovely mother, stepmother,
You've
Donna
got to meet
Blackman is
her.
on here. You've got
Kara
to meet
just
her.
joined us. Danielle's been listening.
Kara just
intently.
joined us. Danielle's been listening intently. Your soon-to-be protege.
Yes,
Um,
love you.
No, but this is just such wonderful news.
No, but
because one of the
this is
things
just
I
such
want to
wonderful
be able
news,
to do,
because one of the things I want to be able
is
to
be
do
able to give people that hope.
is to be able to
I know
give
with our
people
new
that hope.
memberships, we are going to be
I know with our new
creating
memberships,
support
we are
groups.
going to be creating
So if many
support
of
groups.
you who, or some
So
of
if
you
many
have
of
been
you
to AA,
who,
or
some of you have been to AA, or some of you have been to counseling, you know, it's
again, you're not going to believe your body's not going to
again, you're not going to believe, your body's not
going
going to believe, your immune system's not going to develop all the different things, and so to have that mental emotional piece, even the spiritual component of the energy healing, there, you know, we got to get you back to where possibility is there and hope is alive.
And what I discovered, Roddy, when people come with multifactorial diseases, as you start to peel that away layer by layer, their hope starts to go exponential.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen that with just hundreds of people over the years who were hopeless, and we get one set of symptoms to go away.
Right.
A positive test factors started to go in the right direction.
Right.
You know, and that builds hope, and they start coming in with smiles. You know, say, Shelton, look at these test numbers right here. Things are going away. I'm getting better. And that renewed hope energizes their inside. And now they're walking with a bright confidence, a pep in their step, in their voice.
Yeah,
And you can see
but
that
it takes
transformation.
somebody like
Yeah, but it takes somebody like you that you had to go through the suffering.
one of the first things that
But you know, like one of the first things that when I met you,
everybody
and I tell this to everybody, is your
you have
humility.
such great perspective.
Because you have such great perspective. And, you know,
I mean, just being in your
your
presence,
energy.
honestly,
I mean,
I
just
know
being in your presence, honestly, I know
but
you're used to
have
you.
such a beautiful
But
energy
you
about
have
you,
such a
and it gives
beautiful
that
energy
peace
about
to
you,
people.
and it gives
Because I
that
guarantee you, I
peace to
don't know how many
people.
people have probably
Because I
cried in
guarantee you,
front of
I don't
you
know how many
because
people have probably
they're
cried in front of you
at that
because
point, or
they're
that
at
suddenly
that point,
you
or
gave them
that
somehow,
suddenly
some
you
way,
gave
give
them
that
somehow,
hope back.
some way, you
And
give
so
them that hope
that
back.
in itself
And
is
so that
is
in
the turning
itself
point.
is
It's
the turning point.
Yeah, and it's a confident hope. It's not a false hope, right? And that's what sometimes my clients say, you're just saying that to say it. And I say, no way. I know how to help you out of whatever situation you're in. Or to help build whatever team of people we need to get involved.
Yeah, because
I already know how to do that.
Yeah, because
I already know how to do that. In my mind, on paper.
yeah.
You know, I can outline the steps.
well, let's talk about some of these other things that we can
Well,
do to
let's
help
talk
people
about some of
get
these
well,
other things
because
that
you
we
are
can
a
do to
master
help people
herbalist.
get well. Because so you are a master herbalist, and so
That was my initial training. I got a degree in Dr. Nature Master Herbalist. But my training over the past 20 years has expanded infinitely beyond that. With the energetic technologies, all the environmental tests I can run now, in labs, cancer profiles, hereditary cancer profiles. So I haven't stood still in time. I've been pursuing things like functional medicine and actually beyond for years.
okay.
Okay, I'm a sponge when it comes to
Well, and that's what you would want. I mean,
Well, and that's what you would want. I mean, in anybody in whatever their craft is to keep learning.
And it's not
You know,
to say you
because
go away from
and it's not to say you
principles that
go
have been
away
around for
from
thousands
the
of
principles that have been around for thousands of
I would
years.
never give up those great forefathers that I learned. Some of the best teachers I ever had. I was blessed to come along in their presence 20 years
Could you
ago.
please repeat
Oh,
the email?
could you please repeat the email?
Yeah, the email is Shelton, SHELTON, at Herb Shop Cincy. Herb is HERB, Shop SHOP, Cincy, CIN as in Nancy.
Okay, and so just say the name straight.
Okay, and so just say the name straight one more time.
Yeah, Shelton at Herb Shop
Great,
Cincy.
and then that's for the first 20
Okay,
people.
great.
Correct.
And then
We'll be
that's
able
for
to
the
get
first
20 free
20 people.
sessions.
We'll be able to get 20 free
I'm sorry,
sessions.
Not 20, just one.
20 people, one single
sorry.
session on the mat.
20
Okay,
people,
that's
one
what I
single
wanted to
session
clarify
on
as
the
well.
mat. Okay,
Okay,
that's
gotcha.
what I wanted to clarify as well. Okay, gotcha.
Great technology. Great technology. This system here gives me 36 advanced reports.
Yeah, so how are
what's
you
going on
explaining,
with
I mean,
Yeah, so
besides
how
them
are you
physically
explaining,
feeling,
I mean,
'cause you want
besides
people to
them
have their
physically
testimonials,
feeling,
but,
because you want people to have their
are you-
testimonials, but
because I know you use
are
other
you,
different
do you,
technologies
because I know
to be
you
able
use
to,
other different
I know you
technologies
can't
to be able
diagnose,
to,
but to give
I know you can't
indicators of
diagnose, but to
what
give
is going on,
indicators
so
of
they can
what
see their
is going
progression.
on,
Yeah, things are
so they can
out
see
there.
their progression.
Right. And they basically, my clients get tracked.
Would you mind showing them, like, because I know you have
Would
my
you mind
information
showing
there, I
them,
don't
like, because I
mind.
know you have my
Oh, I don't mind
information
sharing
there,
it
I
all.
don't mind.
Oh, you don't mind?
Yes.
Oh, I don't
yeah,
mind sharing it all.
Believe me, I'm an
Yes,
open book.
yeah,
So
believe me, I'm
everybody-
an
I've
open
told
book.
people countless times
So
of
everybody,
my
I've told
situations
people
with
countless
Candida
times
and
of my
working through
situations
that,
with
and so-
Candida and working through that, and so
I'll wait till he has it up, so just in case it's not.
I'll wait till he
And then
has
we
it
have
up,
some
so
other
just in case
technology,
it's
I
not.
know that
And then we have some other
were going to
technology
talk
I
about
know that
today as
you
well.
were going to talk about
And I know
today
this
as
is a
well.
long Facebook Live, but
And I know this is a long Facebook Live, but I
So
really
we can
don't
do
care.
another one on the other technologies if, down the road.
Yeah, no, we can. We got. That's fine.
Yeah, no, we
Yeah.
can't. We got. That's
So,
fine.
Where am I at on
Yeah.
this?
So where am I at on
Right
this?
here, this is you
Okay.
pulling up your record from
Okay.
Yeah.
June of last year. No, June of 18. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pull up the report here.
Oh, yeah.
Tilt this.
Okay, so
Oh,
this is
yeah.
36 reports over here.
Okay,
when
so
this
this is
analysis
36
done.
reports over here when this
We're looking at
analysis is
typically
done.
the most important one
We're looking
for,
at typically the most important one for anybody 50 and older, the condition of the cardiovascular system, and also the cerebrovascular system, which is basically the whole
brain to
blood
to the
network
toes.
from
Now wait a
brain
minute. So
to
what was
your
I
toes.
doing? This
Now,
was.
now wait a minute. So what was I doing? This was
This is called the QRMA.
okay.
Again, this is based on not advanced, but frequency information. Every part of the body is tied into the brain with a unique frequency. So that's how the brain knows how to control the heart from the lungs through the digestive process, itching your calf muscles. So everything's keyed in with a unique frequency.
Okay.
And this is known science.
Right,
and it's not
right.
taught in regular medical school.
Right, right.
But it is known science that's been around for at least 100 years.
Right.
And various geniuses along the pathway have figured out how to use frequencies at many different levels.
And it's very specific. I mean, they have ones that are.
And it's very
for the
specific.
left
I mean, they
ventricle,
have ones that
and the
are
right
for the
ventricle,
left
and
ventricle
all sorts of different
and the
things.
right ventricle and all sorts of different
And,
things.
One quick detour.
He's got his frequency books here.
And this is like
He's
a
got his
Bible.
frequency
Yeah.
books here.
And this is like a Bible. Look at this here. All these here. And this is 100-year information right now with specific frequencies that help
So
improve any
cold
condition shown.
herpes.
So cold sores,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
herpes.
just see.
Right, and this is
Yeah,
Right,
you
you
can
can-
just see.
Right, and this is called Rife table information, Rife frequencies.
Right.
Research named Royal
Okay.
Raymond Wright and Tesla,
geniuses.
Okay.
and they
I
were
mean, there's literally how many
Geniuses in
different
their
types of
generation.
I mean,
frequencies?
there's literally how many
yeah.
different types of frequencies?
Right.
Hundreds,
That-
thousands?
And so
thousands,
you
yeah.
can just go in here and
Wow.
find out what.
And so
one of
you
these
can just
frequencies-
go in
somebody
here,
has the
find
flu,
out
somebody
one
has
of
a
these
virus,
frequencies. Somebody has the
everybody's
flu,
freaked out
somebody
about
has a
viruses.
virus. Everybody's
Yeah,
freaked out
they're,
about viruses lately.
Right, I told you in a meeting or two ago about this new machine called a Magi. It emits a frequency of 432 hertz, and that frequency also paralyzes most.
So yeah, what is that? You were saying like it literally.
So
puts
yeah,
almost
what
like
is
a-
that?
like
You
a
were saying
force
like
field.
it literally puts almost like a force field.
3-foot force field around the body.
So
And if a virus enters that force field,
Okay.
there's a good chance it's going to be neutralized.
okay.
So it could be, it's part of my
Okay.
future coronavirus.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's get in just really quick. 'cause I know that is
Yeah,
a
but
topic
let's
I
get
don't
in
wanna
just
go
really quick because I know
into
that is a
anything,
topic I don't want to
but that
go
is a
into
scary
anything.
thing for a lot of people right now.
But that
They're
is a
trying to
scary
get it
thing
under
for a lot of people
control.
right
We
now.
don't wanna
They're
induce
trying to
any
get it
sort
under
of panic,
control.
but we wanna let
We don't
people
want to
know.
induce any
You
sort
do have a
of panic, but
protocol
we want
because
to
I know
let
you
people
send
know.
people off,
You
or
do have a
people are going to other
protocol because I know
countries
you
and
send
set
people
them up
off,
with
or
a
people are going to other
herbal
countries
cocktail,
and you
different
set them
things
up
to
with
make
a
sure that their
herbal
body is
cocktail,
being
different
protected.
things to make sure that their body is being protected.
Yeah, I've sent many people on missions to all over the world with my mission kits,
That's
and
awesome.
I've never had anybody get sick.
That's
At
awesome.
this point, I've had people go out in their whole. One lady went to Egypt a year and a half ago with a team of 10. Kenya. Everybody got sick. The other 10 people got sick.
Except for-
We're talking
Oh
3
my
days
God.
in bed with diarrhea, vomiting, and all that.
Oh
Except
my God.
her, and she only had enough spare packs to share with one of her, co-travelers.
Oh my gosh.
And that person got better in 2 days.
Oh my gosh.
Right, and she said she can't like say Sheldon. They all said we're going to.
So what about people, speaking of the coronavirus?
So what about
really
people,
quick,
speaking
if
of the
people wanted to
coronavirus
get a
really quick,
preparatory
so
kit,
if people
to say,
wanted to
hey,
get a
what can I
preparatory
do
kit
prepare for
to
that
say,
now
hey,
so they
what what can I do to prepare for that now? So that can they get something that's not going to break the bank, whether it's for themselves, their family, their
It just
kids?
depends on what level of preparation you want.
Okay.
I can do three basic things to get you some minimal level of protection.
So they can
Or I
call
go
you,
full
they can
blown with
go
it.
on the website.
So they can call you, they
email
can
you,
go on the
okay,
website,
Right.
email
set an
you,
appointment,
okay,
or
and say, hey,
protocol. Plus
set
you
an
also have different
appointment
types of
Right.
testing.
or a protocol. Plus you
And
also have
so,
different types of testing.
covering that subject, but,
And so,
you know, like you have
but
the Candida test.
covering that subject,
They
but
can just go on
you
and
know,
do
like
that
you have
for
the
free.
Candida test.
Yes,
They can just go on and do that for
Also have
free.
access to
Right,
other
they get it
types of
online.
tests that
Then
they
you
can
also
take,
have access
and
to other
before they even
types of
come
tests that they
in,
can
so you
take,
can kind of
and
give
before
you
they
some
even come
indicators.
in, so you can kind of give you some indicators.
Right, I generally have people just do a complete online health assessment with things they know, the drugs they're on. And most people come in with some type of diagnosis.
Right.
I'm generally not the first choice. When people come to me, they've gone, like me, elsewhere, and they come with, a list of symptoms, long tests, that big.
Yeah.
And nobody's figured out what's wrong with them. So
Right.
that's the average person that I see. And that's why I say I've learned to specialize in the tough cases. And I understand the whole process, right? Having walked that whole process in my own personal recovery.
Yeah.
So very few things surprise me. I'm very seldom am I miffed. Other than the night attack I had last night. Years ago. that
Yeah.
got me, yeah. But other than that.
So when you come in,
So when you come in, you have, I know you have a Zytoscan, which is one of the other things, which we're not going to get into that right now, but a lot of people know if your Zyto is ZYTO.
Yeah, ZYTO.
Okay, so if people want to look that up, they can get an idea of how that helps. I know even, I want to say at least a couple other
Yeah,
practitioners
at
in
least two
our,
that I know have had that system also.
yeah, and,
So I'm cross-correlating data from this system and that system,
okay.
and I'm laying that on the table with their tests and all that.
So
I
how much time
collect
do you
that
actually
patient and
spend
collect all the
typically
data.
with a client?
So how much time do you actually spend typically with a client? You know, just getting to know them and,
The first visit is generally an hour and a half, plus or minus 15 minutes.
okay,
Okay, and that's part of the initial consultation process.
right.
You cannot get real information in 5 minutes. No way.
And the, yeah.
And that's such a failure on the part of
Well, but the
conventional
other thing is,
Right.
is that they're not.
Well, but the other thing is
don't get me
that they're
wrong,
not,
it's time and place, but
and don't get me wrong, it's time and place, but, which even
hey,
Dr. Ace,
I can only do
RMD
so
in the
much
group
with
would
this,
tell you,
but
it's like, hey, I can only do so
in
much
you,
with
it's
this,
like you're
but
looking for the
even
root cause.
he,
Our practitioners
in you,
are
it's like you're looking for the root cause.
let's
Our
get-
practitioners are looking for,
Don't
hey,
just
let's get
stop
deeper.
taking Tylenol for an herb.
Don't just
Find out
stop
what's
taking
causing
Tylenol
it.
for an herb.
Right.
Find out what's causing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I have some great pain management products and protocols. But I have to advise my clientele, don't substitute herbal pain management for root cause analysis.
Right.
I want to get them off using my pain management.
Yeah, it's kind of like going
remedies
into
and
your
fix what's
psychologist
causing
and
pain.
Yeah, it's kind of like
may
going into your
need,
psychologist and
medication.
you may need
But
a
it's
medication.
like,
Right,
hey,
you
let's
may
find
for
out
a
what's
season.
going on, truly going on.
But it's like,
and
hey,
then
let's
so you
find out what's
don't
going
have
on,
to
truly
live
going on, and then so you
much better,
don't
higher
have to, so
quality
you
of
can
life.
live a much better, higher quality of life.
Right, and a lot of medicines are transitional. A lot of times when I'm consulting with people under tremendous stress for various tough situations, physical, emotional, personal, whatever, they're stuck in a very tough place for a long time. So I just have to help them cope while they're in that season to help the season change. And there's things to minimize the effects of stress, depression, and anxiety while you're in a tough season of life. So you're not even hopeless. Even though I can't change it, but at least I can help you, cruise through that season.
So basically, if you're hopeless, come see Shelton.
So basically, if you're hopeless, come see Shelton.
Or semi-hopeless, or just confused, frustrated.
Or semi-hopeless, or just confused, frustrated.
Right, or if you want to go on the other
Right.
end of the spectrum, I'll say 5% of my clients are into the anti-aging, longevity, wellness part of what I do, which is keeping them heart attack and stroke proof, cancer proof, Alzheimer's proof, and all that. So we fixed them on all the normal levels, and now they're just being very proactive.
Well,
Because
you touched on my
Well,
story, right?
because you
Well,
you
your
touched on
story.
my story, right? Or well, your
my
story.
grandparents died of
But
dementia and Alzheimer's.
my
and I've
grandparents
told
died
this, I don't know
of
how many
dementia and
people,
Alzheimer's, and I've told this I don't know how many
and
people.
You could probably tell the story
and
much better.
You could probably tell the story much better, but
dementia client,
working
I
with
just remember
that
you saying how
dementia client,
this guy was
I just
basically
remember you
6 months
saying
away
how
from taking
you,
a dirt nap.
this guy was
I had
basically
no
6 months
recollection
away
of
from
any
taking
of
a
his
dirt
family
nap.
members. His
I
memories
had no
basically
recollection
gone.
of any of his family
And,
members. His memories
you know,
basically
and it
gone.
was just the
And
inevitable, which,
you
like,
know,
whether
and it was
many
just
people
the inevitable, which like whether
yes,
many
there
people
are
are in.
reason cause of death now in the States.
right, I mean,
Number one
in the
in
retirement
Britain.
communities, they're
Great
basically
Britain.
just places
Right, I mean,
to die.
the retirement
but
communities, they're
you
basically just
literally
places to die, and
Right.
but you
the body
literally
reversed itself, but you were able to
well,
give
the body
whatever
reversed
you were
itself,
giving.
but you were able to give whatever you were giving,
Right.
And this gentleman's memory came back.
and this
then you
gentleman's
said,
memory
was it
came
a couple
back,
months or
and
something
then
of that
you said
nature? He
was it a
he
couple
basically
months
just up and
or
left
something
the
of that
facility.
nature. He basically
Yeah,
just
yeah.
up and left the facility.
And so, have you heard from this man since, or?
And so, have you
Okay.
heard from this man since,
No, I
or
haven't.
That's
okay?
But that's what's
Wow.
possible. I mean, those are the types of
but
things
that's
that
what's
blow me
possible.
away.
I mean,
It's like,
those are the
you
types
know,
of things
I
that
mean,
blow me
sure,
away.
could
It's
I hype
like,
you up and say you're
you
an
know,
angel?
I mean,
No, you're just
sure,
doing
could I hype
what
you up and say
want
you're
to
an
do
angel?
because you're
No,
trying to
you're
help
just
people. I think
doing
we all
what
have
you
that
want to
passion.
do
I
because
think one
you're
of the
trying to help
reasons
people.
people
I think we
come
all
into,
have that passion. I think one of the
holistic health
reasons people
practitioners
come
is 'cause
into
they love to contribute. Everybody
holistic
wants
health
to help.
practitioners is because they love to contribute. Everybody wants to
Right,
help.
and that's the community love that's, I think, is in people's heart. And your platform makes it
Yeah,
so
like attracts
easy
like.
for us to be
Love
a
attracts
part of it.
love.
Yeah, like attracts like.
And
Love
I gotta
attracts
say,
love.
To everybody listening, you are privileged to be a part of HHP, both in Dayton and St. George. The goal is to multiply this throughout the country. I'm sure writers get requests all the time.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But we have people like
We'll get there.
We'll
you
get
know,
there.
and several of the other
But we have people like
practitioners
you,
that can work with other
you know,
people. So
and
you
several of
do
the
have
other
family
practitioners
members.
that can work with other people. So if you do have family
Well, that's
members,
right. I work telemedicine or.
Yeah, he's got a big monitor back there.
yeah, he's got a big monitor back
Oh,
there.
yeah, with camera and all that too. But this is one of the greatest ground floor efforts I've ever seen.
Don't get me crying now, because you know I'll break some tears.
Don't get me crying now, because you know I'll break some
It's
tears.
true. And
Thank you.
I'm very
Well, and
thankful
you've
for
been
what you've been
incredible
called to do.
support, not just by
Well,
what
and
you're doing
you've
for the
been
people who
incredible
come to you,
support,
but I
not just
know
by
that
what you're doing for the
You
people who have
literally
come
hand
to
my
you,
cards
but I
out to
know
everybody.
that
You've even told me,
you
like, here,
literally
Rodney,
hand
here's
my
$20.
cards out
Give
to
me more
everybody.
cards.
You've
Give me
even
more
told me, like,
cards.
here, Rodney, here's
Speaking of, I
$20.
gotta
Get
go
me
buy
more
some
cards. Give me
when
more
I get home
cards.
today.
Speaking of, I got to go buy some more cards when I get home today.
But thank you. I appreciate that.
So,
I
but
just try to
thank
stay
you.
humble
I
about it. I'm just
appreciate
doing
that.
my part, like
I
you're
just try to
doing
stay
yours.
humble about. I'm just doing my part, like you're
Right,
doing
I gotta do
yours.
my part. That's
Yeah.
all we're all doing. We're just doing our
So
part.
people can come
Yeah.
in. So I'm gonna. So
So
this
people can
was
come in. So
my
I'm gonna.
information here
So
about
this was
almost
my
2 years
information
Yeah,
here
uh,
about, and this almost 2 years.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
So the normal range of healthy would be blue, green, blue, right in the center.
Now name some. Let's
So,
look at some areas where
Now,
it wasn't
name some.
as-
Let's look at some areas where
Okay,
I
believe me, I
wasn't.
know I'm not.
Okay,
Because
let me.
believe me, I know I'm not.
Okay, let's go down here. Right here, now we typically concentrate on markers in the yellow and red. This marker right here says left ventricle ejection impedance. That is saying that the left ventricle is
Okay.
working a little harder
Which to
than
you,
it should.
you
Right.
probably like.
Okay.
Okay, that could be this.
Which
that,
to
or
you,
that.
you're probably like, okay, that could be this, that, or
Yeah,
the other.
I'm not going to chase that because it's in the yellow and it's only one marker out of probably 20 on the scan.
Okay.
So that's not a priority. Now,
Sure.
if several were out of balance, then I would.
Now let me
put
ask you a
some,
question. So this
cardiovascular
is
support
tested,
in the protocol.
recorded.
Now let me
so
ask you a question.
were
So
these
this
all the
is
things that were
tested,
being
recorded.
tested?
So were these all the things that were?
report has multiple test factors.
Okay, so you have everything from
Yeah.
lung, liver,
Yeah,
gallbladder,
gallbladder,
kidney, brain.
kidney. Let me show you one report that a lot of people don't understand, the collagen report.
Okay, so what exactly is collagen?
Collagen is the rebar for the whole human body. Every physical tissue type, I don't care how hard it is or how soft it is, has a certain level of collagen in it. Okay, bones, for instance, are 42% collagen by dry weight. Your blood vessels have collagen in them that keeps them firm and taut.
Okay.
When blood vessels start to contude, varicose veins, and so forth, those veins have lost their collagen content and they cannot stay, firm any longer.
Okay.
The body has over 29 types of collagen, and I use a collagen precursor that nourishes and rebuilds all those 29 types throughout the whole body.
Gotcha. Okay, so what did my collagen look like?
Okay, so as we go down this report, that's why you're gonna see the whole body represented by parts.
Eye,
tooth, hair and skin. So your hair and skin need a little bit more support.
Okay.
This collagen product I use reduces wrinkles by 42% in 6 to 8 months.
Uh-oh.
I know, this is
All
my
right.
favorite ladies product.
Ladies?
Yeah, my favorite ladies product.
Well, but I've even noticed in myself, we're all going to get wrinkles.
Right.
Not everybody's got that certain... Right, and you want to keep that strong,
Right. Yeah, and it will make you look youthful. If you're trying to lose weight, it's very important, because as you lose weight, it will keep your skin taut and stop a lot of the sagginess with weight loss. It's part of my weight loss protocol.
Okay.
Make sure that
Get that collagen built up. Okay.
And it goes on down to the endocrine system, the circulatory system. Let me scroll down here. Digestive, immune, motion systems. Motion systems, everything to do with every physical movement of the body, muscle tissue, and fat metabolism. It would help in those 2 areas for you. And then lastly,
So what was that saying? That I just wasn't metabolizing fats properly?
Yeah, from the collagen contribution to the fat metabolism circuits in the body. The brain, they discovered something called leptin, and we have a product called Leptin Manager.
Okay.
Leptin is a specific hormone that communicates the turn on or off the fat storage switch with the brain. So if leptin levels are adequate, the brain can clearly discern when I should turn off fat storage versus fat burning. Okay, so that's something that's been scientifically proven.
Sure.
Over the past 15, 20, no, not 20 years, 10 to 15 years. Most people don't know about it yet, but there's a lot of pockets of technology and information that exists. And that's the value of staying current, because you're able to integrate all that in and help people overcome little hurdles or little blockades, in their journey to get well.
Gotcha.
And that, so yeah, a lot of great tools. This is a great tool. Everything is a great tool.
Well, speaking of tools, but I think it's, you have this other device.
Yes, okay.
One of your new toys is what I like to say. He loves his new toys.
I've had this for years.
Uh-oh. Let's see what he's got here. Hold on. Dr. Jim's in the way again. How are you feeling, Dr. Jim?
Great. It relaxes you. That's one of the things it does. It relaxes you. And
Oh, I know. He's been falling asleep through all of our yapping.
It does to me. I just, it's so calm when I get on that pad. But this is the Lumen's Photon Pad. It's been around for years. I'm going to turn it on just to, and this has 7 different range of frequencies for healing every body tissue in the body.
Okay, so explain again how it works. We probably got some new people watching.
Right. I can change the frequency. Right now it's on frequency 7. Frequency 7 is for pain and inflammation primarily. Other purposes that I can't say publicly.
Sure.
And then frequency Nico is a rotation of all 7 frequencies in 5-minute increments.
So you can do multiple things.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And it goes on, and it has a timer from 5 minutes to 30 minutes. And you just put this pad, I'll turn it on. And
Okay.
It lights up, and there's both visible lights And
Right.
invisible frequencies you can't see with the eye, represented by these alternate rows here. So
Make
if you
sure.
right there's a
Okay.
row here that's you can't write, and these are also emitting lights that are not visible to the human eye.
Okay.
Okay, excuse me, and you just put that on the part of the body that's having a problem. If you're having digestive issues, we put it here. If you're having an earache, we put it here. If you're having headaches, we put it here or here.
Okay.
If you're having eye issues, or sinus issues, we put it here.
Okay.
If you have a liver problem, it's going over here.
Okay.
If you're having prostate issues, it's going here.
Okay.
Pain in the knee is going there.
Okay.
And these masks come in all sizes and shapes.
Now, people, if they wanted to purchase any of these machines, could they go through you
Yeah, they can go through
and get these? Because
yeah.
I know, like my father, he ended up getting a frequency machine, and he literally says it saved his life. Well, to some degree. I mean,
Right.
you still need more things, but because that's the thing. Is like, are these types of machines that are affordable? Not to get into all the price points and
They're
stuff.
not super cheap. The minimum, this unit is $1,000, and it goes to, depending on the size of the pads, to $2,500.
Right, but again, you don't want to utilize this.
But it's a lifetime investment
Right.
for you, your family, and circle of friends.
Yeah, I mean, you
So
could share this with anybody,
Yeah, right, with anybody.
or even, you know.
Yeah, this here, now this is several $1,000s here, but if you could buy it if you got the resources.
Well,
Yeah.
and some people do have the
Yeah, some people
resources,
have
or
resources,
they could
right.
get even a loan if they needed
Right.
to, or throw it on a credit card
Right,
and
whatever,
pay that off.
right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Right, so all these technologies now exist outside the lab and at the home level.
Gotcha.
That's the great part about being a part of our current generation. People figure out ways to bring that from lab and research, environment to your home environment
Gotcha.
where you can use it daily.
Gotcha.
And most of these things are lifetime investments for you, your friends, your families.
Well, but I like the extent of what you go to as well, because it's like you want to be able to purchase, well, you want to be able to go to somebody like you and feel confident that, hey, I'm truly going to get some help here. Or if I purchase a device, like one of these devices here, that the customer service is good, the technology is good, it's not going to break down on me, it's kind of like buying a lemon of a car, kind of thing. So.
And a lot of people not knowing where to start, that's typically where the greatest mistakes are made when people start something, is that they don't know where to start. The internet is a wild, wild west of information.
Well, and that's one of
good and bad,
and
and everything in between.
well, and that's one of the reasons. And let me say this really quick, just to I don't know, plug HHP. But like when we start these memberships, we are going to get we're going to get to the root cause, and how we're going to do that is that for the first time when our membership starts, we're going to have two different types of memberships, but we're going to allow, well, we're not going to allow, but we're going to provide people to get to that root cause by, and getting for the first time, a comprehensive, individualized, holistic health plan, and we will have people explaining how it works, why they're doing it, and every concerning question in between, so you have a plan and an action. And so we're going to implement that later. We'll be talking about that later. There's be some videos, but this year, hopefully, sometime by May, at the latest, we're looking to get this out. It's just a lot of logistical pieces to do, but you got to go through this process. You got to have an end game. You got to set up a plan. Versus, like you said, it's like you can't just do a frequency device and suddenly think that that's just going to cover everything.
Right,
because there's so many different components.
Right, you have to look at the whole pie, and that's what I do. Every component of what's going on with a person. I do that extremely well. I'm very gifted at that, and
Gifts to
am.
give.
Yeah, gifts to give, and I can very quickly generally figure out what's wrong with a person if I don't know it from the get-go.
Yeah.
Right. Even without conventional tests.
And I know that you don't say that in a level of arrogance.
No, I don't.
You say it from confidence.
Right, and it's confident.
It's just you know what you know. Like,
Yeah.
hey, the banana over there is
Right.
yellow.
It's yellow. It is. And that's why I inspire real hope in people, because I see these things work right day in and day out, month in and month out, year in and out, every year in, year in and year out. And I'm very patient with people because I know everybody has a timetable when they may seek somebody like me. Earlier this week, I got 2 calls from people now who are going to come to me with heart-related issues, who have been coming to me for the past 3 years. And I was so shocked. I was sharing that with Karen, my sweetheart. I said, guess what happened? These 2 people called.
Like out of the blue?
Yeah, out of the blue. I was so shocked.
2 years later or whatever?
Yeah, 2 to 3 years later. And so I don't determine when they come.
Well,
it's just, that's out of my control,
But people are on their own journey, and sometimes,
right.
like, I never understood that, the quote, or people would say, like, we all came down here to suffer. And it's like, I think that we have to go through a certain level of pain and suffering so we can get some perspective to truly appreciate,
Pain makes you, and suffering makes you grow. It pushes you outside your box. I remember a play when I was in first or second grade that was put on, and it was my neighbors across the street. They were in it, and we were in probably 4th grade, the 5th grade at the time. 2-room, 3-room school, way back when. Very simple play. They were dressed up like a country husband and wife couple.
okay.
Like literally brothers and sisters, but of course, for play reasons, they were
Right.
mom and dad. And the dog on the porch, the whole play just kept yelping at the top of his voice. And that yelp was going on throughout the whole play in their interaction. And they're trying to figure out, why is the dog hollering so much? And they say to each other, you know what, and in a country voice, I'm gonna go out here and see what's wrong with Yella. And so they slowly get up and go out there, check out the dog, and he slowly walks back. He sits by his wife in the play. He said, honey, I discovered the dog was sitting on a tack, and he was just too lazy to move. And they said that several times. That's a shame. The dog was just too lazy to move. And sometimes people are stuck where they are because they don't want to roll the dice and take a risk. And sometimes you're in a position. There's a story in the Bible where these 2 gentlemen were in a do or die situation. And I think they were looking for food, and they were going through this town that was an enemy town. And they said to each other, we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. If we don't go there, we're going to starve to death. Or if we go there, they might kill us. But, they were facing impossible odds. But they took a risk.
Right.
And in life, you have to take a risk. You have to take a step. You have to trust somebody. You have to knock on some door.
Yeah.
And there's answers out there, but it is true. If you seek, you find. If you knock, a door will be open. If you ask, you'll get an answer.
Well, I think people are tired of sick care.
Yeah.
And they're looking for holistic care, which is true health care, in my opinion.
Right.
But, I loved, many people have probably seen the movie Shawshank Redemption.
Yes.
Get busy living.
Yeah.
Or get busy dying.
Right. And that's what it boils down to.
And we've been dying for way too long. It's been like a slow genocide for millions and millions of people. And so I'm so glad we've had this time to talk. But this is an opportunity for people, to truly learn what alternatives, integrative, complementary, however you want to start. Dr. Hendricks here will, I love the approach of all of our practitioners, especially yourself. It's like meet people where they're at, understand where they're at, you know, being able to empathize where they're at, and saying, hey, I got you. Let's build some trust together, and let's move forward. Yeah. So let's wrap this up. So the Herb Shop Cincinnati, what's your address?
The address is 10921 Reed Hartman Highway, Suite 117. Now we're in BlueAsh, Ohio, previously Delhi, but BlueAsh, Ohio, 45242.
And they can do a Google search and find that, all the address information.
Or go to our Facebook page or connect with me through the holistic group.
Yeah, you can private message Shelton through there. Shelton R. Hendricks is in there. So when they pull in, it's the first building on the left.
On the left in the CMC complex.
In the CMC complex.
We're on the lower floor. So.
Okay. And then the email address one more time. So any the first 20
first
people
20 get a free single session
on this amazing device to be able to help. And then of course, you know, and then you can also, people can call.
Right. They can call, set up appointments, whatever, you know. And,
okay, great. And the beautiful part is, guys, this, you know, and I'll switch this back around, but you're not breaking the bank. And please understand that, you know, even though things aren't covered by insurance, but you don't want insurance dictating your level of health. And especially insurance companies, it's not like doctors are making decisions for it's money driven.
Right.
And so, you know, even if you had to go to your FHA or FSA accounts, whether you had to pull it out of pocket, at least you know you're getting to a state of health and wellness. You're going to get what you pay for, kind of thing. Then, of course, you have to continue to follow the protocols and so.
To be honest, most people have spent thousands of dollars before they discover me.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
there's no doubt.
Right. And I'm that person too. I spent tens of thousands of dollars in my health recovery journey.
Well,
and Dr. Teresa did Wednesday night. She shared that. 70 years how she suffered and nearly broke the bank, trying to get well. And that's the state of a lot of people. You know, and the thing is, there's answers, and I'll say it till I die. Answers abound.
Yeah, it just, you know, you just got to find somebody who has the answers, and if not, the beautiful thing is, I think every once in a while you may run across a specialized situation, but,
Right.
you know, but that's where you need a brilliant mind, you know, that is, you know.
Yeah, and I have resources of other brilliant minds throughout the world that if I get stumped, I just call them.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like you can't know it all,
No,
or retain it all.
Right.
Yeah. So the Herb Shop Cincy, and then the website is
herbshopcincy.com.
herbshopcincy.com.
Right.
And then they can reach you on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. They can reach us through the group.
Yeah, pretty soon we'll be able to have profiles and all sorts of information on the website down the road here. But what's one thing that I know you've talked about a lot. What's one thing that most people don't know about you? Maybe even your beautiful, lovely lady.
I'm proud of that.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Yeah, I gotta share.
What are you proud of?
I'm gonna go to Facebook right quick, and I just joined this little group on Facebook. 1 second here. I'll flip very quick.
I don't want to go through stuff until you're ready. So.
Yeah. Hold on here. I get there.
Oh, you're fine, Doctor. How you feeling?
I'm doing great. Dr. Jim is so relaxed over
He's
there.
like, I wish he would get the heck out of
No,
here so I
he-
can keep sleeping.
Right here.
Okay, I'm coming
Okay.
over. Okay.
This little group I just joined a couple weeks ago. It's called Sheephead Fishing.
Okay.
Okay. My father and whole family, both sides, were fishermen.
Okay.
Every level, freshwater, saltwater, deep sea, and everything.
Okay.
And I remember sheephead are very difficult to catch. They bite so tenderly and gingerly. And I remember going with my dad as a child, and I could never get it down, how to hook them. and I would just get rid of all the bait. And he said, Sheldon, okay, I got to keep some bait, so you have to stop fishing.
I gotta keep some bait.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I discovered this site, and in honor to my father, I had those memories, and I joined this group. He's since gone on to heaven, but you know, that reminds me, you know, of my experiences with my dad, you know, and the journeys of sheephead fishing down in Florida. You know.
That's a wonderful experience. Well, we're gonna get out of here. So, Shelton, you wanna help me say goodbye here?
Yeah. Again, happy Valentine's Day to everyone
Happy
watching.
Valentine. Hopefully you got some love out of this, because I
Right.
did. You can see it in my eyes.
Again, tell all your friends and family about the Holistic Practitioner Group. Awesome, awesome opportunity, awesome place and time to be a part of what we're doing.
Well, thank you
And we
guys.
want to thank Dr. Jim for.
Yes. Don't get up, sir. Don't get up. Thank you guys. We love you.
Yes,
We
we do.
appreciate. Please keep sharing. Thank you, Danielle. I love you too. I know Dr. Shelton does here. But thank you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful Valentine's Day. Enjoy it with your sweeties, your kids,
Yes.
your somebody that, you know, even if you've been sitting dormant for a while, go reach out to somebody. Tell them you love them.
Yeah.
You know, get in the presence of love in some way.
And bye to all Florida people. Bye.
All the Florida people. Okay. Take care, guys. We'll be talking to you soon. Bye.